Busch Gardens Tampa is a park with one of the greatest coaster lineups in America, if not the world. A little while back, I got to take my first ever visit to the park, and in this video, I'm going to be ranking all the coasters at the park. Now, let's get right into the list. Starting off the list at number 11 is probably one of the worst coasters I've ever ridden, and that is Sand Serpent. I don't understand why this coaster is even in this park because it is entirely out of place. This ride can take a nosedive into the Inferno region, and I will be celebrating. Like I am right now, because look at this beautiful footage of it getting destroyed. Next up is Air Grover. It's a family coaster. What else do you want to hear? It's just a nice smooth coaster for the kids. Let's move on. The first truly good coaster on the list is Scorpion. Scorpion is an original Schwarzkopf looping coaster that opened at the park in 1980. The ride features a single, very intense vertical loop, which after it sends you through a series of high turns and intense helixes. While the ride isn't super long, not even breaking 2,000 feet of track, what it does in the short ride time makes it feel like a full, well-rounded experience, which is pretty impressive. That's all I can really say about it, so let's just move right on to the next coaster. Okay, look, just hold on from now until spot number 2, and please just stick with me. At number 7 is Shikra, the 200-foot B&M dive coaster. Now, I'm not usually one to crap on B&M dive coasters because I usually do really enjoy them, but there was just something about Sheikra that just didn't do it for me. The only thing that really stood out to me was the first drop. Everything after that didn't really pull any force. I might have just rode it on a bad day, but at the same time, everything else in the park was absolutely flying. So I'm not sure what happened, but it just kind of existed. I'll definitely give it another shot next time I'm at the park, but as of right now, it was incredibly underwhelming. Next up is Tigress, and this is a very fun coaster with terrible trains. This is your average Premier Skyrocket 2, so I don't have too much to say about the ride itself, but I will say the ride's presentation is absolutely amazing. But other than that, it's just a cloned ride, so let's move on. At number 4, I put the mock spinning coaster, Cobra Curse. This is absolutely one of the best family coasters in the world, with its variety of different elements and forces throughout its duration. The main gimmick with Cobra Curse is that it's split into 3 distinct sections, those being locked forward, locked backwards, and free spinning, in that order respectively. The forward and spinning sections are the main highlight of the ride, since they feature the largest elements. The overbank turn at the start of the spinning section is probably my single favorite moment on the ride. The coaster itself still feels very smooth and is super comfortable outside of one small moment during the backwards section. Other than that, it's just a fun family coaster that fits the park perfectly. Now this is the part of the list that will get a bit controversial, but starting off the top 4 is Kumba. The main feature of Kumba is the positive G-forces, and to say it succeeds in its goal would be an understatement. Each of the 7 inversions pulls crazy force, my 2 favorites being the Cobra roll and no doubt the 0G roll. During my visit, I had a 10-ride marathon on Kumba, and every time I nearly blacked out during the dive loop, and then again during the exit of the Cobra roll. The only thing holding Kumba below my number 3 pick is the fact that the interlocking corkscrews can bash your head around a bit if you aren't prepared. But other than that, Kumba is awesome. Speaking of my number 3, the coaster taking that spot is Montu. Montu was a fantastic coaster that I really liked. It's my second favorite invert, only behind Alpengeist. The ride has some of the most intense moments of positive G-forces in the entire park. I also just really love the presentation of this attraction, with all the trenches and statues around the coaster. It's just now looking back on it, I really wanted more from mainly the second half of the ride. Now, I'm not saying that it was bad or that it was disappointing. Just felt like after the final corkscrew, if it had one more super intense helix, it would have just been that little bit better and been able to crack my top 2. But as of right now, it goes to number 3. Although I do have to give it some credit for the first half, mainly due to the 0G roll, loop, and batwing, all of which try to kill you in the best way possible. Taking home the silver medal is a very controversial pick, but it is Cheetah Hunt. Now this is in no way a super intense or aggressive coaster, but it is super fun. The entire time I was on the ride, I had a huge smile on my face, and I was just having pure fun. And sometimes that's all a coaster has to be. I love the hang time filled Heartline roll into the mid-course, I love the weird top hat thing at the start of the ride, and I especially love the S-bends over the water, which is just the perfect blend of fun, intense, and pretty. Not to mention the ride has some surprise pops of airtime throughout, plus the launches have a really nice kick to them. Call this ride a family coaster all you want, but I will never see this as just a family coaster, because it is way more intense than that name entails. Sealing the gold medal with a fury is Iron Gwazi, what I believe to be one of the best coasters in the entire world. Easily took first place on my list. What can I say about this ride that I haven't already said in my review? The coaster was absolutely unbelievably paced from start to finish. Its airtime is out of this world in terms of strength and variety. Some throw you up, some throw you to the side, others throw you at 90 degrees. The death roll is easily the best inversion I have experienced on any coaster ever. If you want a more in-depth analysis, go check out my full review of the attraction, because I can't fit all the good stuff I want to say about this ride into this section of the video. That's the end of this ranking video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, as well as reviews, predictions, and vlogs, be sure to subscribe. I'm trying to reach 300 subscribers by the end of 2023, so if you want to help me out, please feel free to. I'll see you next week with another video. Bye for now.